Herspiration Happy Hour.
Happy Wednesday, and welcome to another episode of Herspiration Happy Hour. This is your unapologetic diva, Dr. G.
This is Cortina Peters, aka the Girlfriend Therapist.
And this is Louisa Harrell, aka Radio Ray. I almost forgot who I was for a second. It has nothing to do with the cocktail that's coming up. Are you interested?
Yes, what is the cocktail coming up? Because it's got you, it's got your mind like.
I don't even know what to say. It's called the Sassy Lassie, and it's in it is bourbon, simple syrup, fresh lemon juice, blackberries, and mint. So you muddle the mint and the blueberries with the simple syrup. You add the bourbon and stir with ice, and you garnish with mint, a blackberry, and a lemon wedge.
Okay.
Our mocktail, we would use cooled black tea, simple syrup, lemon juice, and blackberries and mint. And you do the same thing. You muddle the mint and the blueberries. Blackberries with the simple syrup. Pour the black tea over top instead of the bourbon, and stir, with ice.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Woo. So it is Wednesday.
Yes.
Is it happy hour, and we have an opportunity to sip. It is also Women's Crush Wednesday, or Working Women Wednesday, where we shine light on some women that we are crushing on today or for this week. And who wants to start first?
Ooh.
I was about to say I'll start. Normally I don't start first, but I will.
Yeah, you don't. You don't. Normally you don't.
I know, but I'll start. And you see, I gotta have my glasses on just to see these days. I don't know. I think with age, my eyesight is just like it is doing the most. Anyhow, so I want to shine light on Sydney Barber, who became this past January became the first Black female brigade commander at the U.S. Naval Academy. Guess how old she is?
Do tell.
At the very young age of 21 years old.
What?
Yes.
Wow,
she will
really?
lead 4,500 midshipmen in the brigade's daily activities and professional training until she graduates in May.
Wow.
If that's not amazing, like, oh my gosh, 21 years old. First female brigade.
That's really awesome.
At the U.S. Naval Academy. So kudos. That's who I'm crushing on today, Miss Sydney Barber. Sydney Barber. I think that's so amazing.
Let's make sure she stays safe, because we know what happens on military bases with young ladies and things like that. So.
Well, that was at Fort Hood, and I know that they learned a huge lesson from that. We hope. So who's next? Who is your woman crushes today?
I'll go. My woman crush Wednesday is Miss Latavia Dawson. She is a makeup artist in Jacksonville, Florida. She is absolutely amazing. She has been summoned by Essence magazine. She has done makeup for celebrities at Essence Festival. Like, she travels everywhere, and she's really down to earth. We share the same birthday. But I found her one day, this was like years ago, and I was looking for someone to do my makeup in Jacksonville when I traveled up there. And she came and she did a bomb job. So anytime I'm in Jacksonville, she's the person who I call. But she has really done some high profile individuals, their makeup. And I call her a face painter. Because she's absolutely amazing. She has the best spirit. She's very positive, gives a lot of positive energy. Yeah. And so I just wanted to crush on her today. I think she's absolutely fabulous.
Okay.
That's great.
I love that. What about you?
Okay,
Lisa?
so I'm actually surprisingly crushing on Candace Owens today. Now, I don't agree, and it is a big surprise because I don't agree with her on a lot of things. And for those who doesn't know who Candace Owens is, I'm pretty sure a lot of you do, but she's an author, a talk show host, political commentator. She's a conservative. and an activist. I'm so tired, y'all. And so what made me want to crush on her was I watched an episode of The Roommates, where this is a show where two gentlemen, they're trying to teach trying to teach men and women, but mainly men, how to be gentlemen, how to live, how to do things the right way, and not conform to how everything is now. But she was on there just basically giving her opinion on a lot of things, and you kind of see her in another light. She still, of course, we don't always agree with everything she says, but I kind of saw her a little bit better me watching this episode. So I just want to shout her out. We don't agree on a lot of things, but I really saw her in a new light when I watched this episode of The Roommate. So shout out to her. Yeah.
Interesting.
Might have to check that out.
Might.
So
I shared it on my page, so if you want to see it on it.
okay, I definitely check that out. Lord knows I don't have a lot of time these days. Like it's like my time is not mine. So before we get started with this topic, because this topic here is just like, whoa, I want to find, I want to catch up with y'all to see how your week has been, because it's been, I feel like it's been a long time since we
Yeah.
had a chance to podcast. I guess, and I know that normally the first and third weekends, I feel like normally comes a lot faster. But this time it felt like it's
It
been
did seem like a
forever.
long
Yeah, it
time.
felt like a seriously long time since we've gotten an opportunity to like get together. So
Right.
just really quick, what all have you had going on? Like, catch me up.
What's new in my life?
Besides, you're getting your vaccine there.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh wow. Okay. You don't have no exciting news.
Just no, not really. Just seeing more patients, school, just that. Yeah,
Okay.
nothing too much for me.
Okay. What about you, Louisa? What's the news?
Okay, so what have I been doing? I started life coaching school classes, which they've been trying to give. It's so funny because this opportunity has been coming up for so long. I'm like, I'm not a life coach. I gotta get my stuff together. But it kept coming back and it kept coming back. So I finally went on ahead, and so I'm in school for life coaching. And also we've been filming a short film we've been working on. So that's supposed to be out in May, the end of May,
Okay.
called Happy Anniversary. We get ready to wrap up production within the next 2 weeks. And then we're working on a new comedy series called Shits and Giggles Comedy Series. And so we filmed our first episode of that last week, and we'll be doing another one or two this weekend. So we've just been pretty busy.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. Why does it like you're drinking on water out of a wine glass?
It's not. It is tropical mango
Sounds sweet.
Moscato. I
Oh,
gotta
it
be.
sounds
That's
good.
super, yeah, no, it sounds super, super
It's
sweet.
really good. It's really good.
Okay, so a quick update with me. I mean,
Yeah,
if
I'm
any
about to say, what about you?
Well, she got everything going
everything,
on.
everything has been going on, and I wish I would have had my little my award out. I don't. It's terrible. It's still in a box.
I
My Radio One
know.
award. It is
Like,
so
oh my
beautiful,
gosh, I've been so like,
and
ah.
I know. So outside of giving my Radio One motivational empowerment award, or empowering motivation award, I mean, I had released a book. It became an Amazon bestseller. I have launched a new series from that, an anthology. So if you're an author, or aspiring author, hit me up. I am having people come in and contribute now to the book that was supposed to be an ebook that people have decided, yeah, I want a signed copy. So I spent yesterday, I feel like I have writer's cramp, signing all of these books with little notes and signing my name. But I did get, all of them shipped out, and I appreciate everybody who purchased books. I'm always going to be grateful and happy about that. Oh, in other news, I have two samples of my children's books that coming in the mail. Those do not release
Oh,
until June 3rd, but I'm at the final stages. The One of the books is being illustrated now. One of them is completely finished, but they will both release at the same time. More on later.
Yay!
That's
Yeah, I'm
good.
super busy these days between writing and books and just still making infrastructure changes to my companies. I did launch, which since the last one, I did launch Dope Ass Women Entertainment, my entertainment company. Yeah, so yeah, I got a lot going on right
Yay!
now.
Yeah, that's so
Um,
cool.
yeah,
That's
so
so
let's
cool.
get started with this topic now that we've caught up, because this is some in light of, even since the last time that we had talked. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while since it's just been us three. So yeah, this is
Yeah,
well,
so
that's been a good little
yeah,
while.
so the conversation today, and the question is creeping in relationships forgivable? So, Cortina, because this was one of the topics that you brought to light, I'm gonna start with you. Let's talk. Let's talk.
So that question in and of itself is very loaded, right? Because there's so many different layers when you talk about, being able to be forgiven. The first step when infidelity happens in a relationship, oftentimes when you go back and look at the relationship, there was never a monogamy agreement agreed upon. There was never a monogamy agreement. People just assume that because we're together, this means that we're exclusive. So if you haven't had that conversation about what our monogamy looks like,
Okay.
well, it's kind of up in the air, really, right? So it's not an excuse, but for many couples that come to me, I always ask them, like, do you guys have a monogamy agreement? And they look at me like, what?
Yeah.
Have you guys talked about what constitutes cheating? For some people, it's dancing on somebody else. For some people, it is not. For some people, it's texting the opposite sex, more things outside of the norm, or deleting text messages. Like, so it's multifaceted. Now, I will say cheating does not dead a relationship per se. However, for me, if the behavior does not change, that just tells me you really don't care. And so if I've forgiven you, it's like, okay, we're moving forward. We have re-established our monogamy contract, and it's then broken a subsequent time. Then it's time for me to evaluate, okay, is this relationship as important to you as it is for me? Then that's when you go into, okay, well, is monogamy even something we want in this relationship, right? Because then you go into consensual non-monogamous relationships, and then that's a whole nother bolts and nuts as it relates to relationships.
No pun intended, huh?
Right. So is creeping in relationships forgivable? That really depends on the person at the end of the day. Some people are like, it's unforgivable. No, I will not. But I also have to say, you have to look at the circumstances of the relationship as well. No, we do not blame the injured party, because we like to call them the involved party. That's the person who cheats. And the injured party, that's the person who got cheated on. You have to have a come to Jesus moment with yourself and say, can I get past this? If you're going to keep bringing it up, dead the relationship, because that's not going to help the relationship move forward.
Okay.
That's just my 2 cents.
Okay. That was like 20 cents.
Yeah.
More like 25 cents.
It was a good quarter. It was a good quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
That
don't ask the sex therapist these questions.
I know. That's why
She
I'm like,
gonna
I
give you
felt like that was
answers,
like
and
a
those are good though.
$100 response.
But
But
I like the way you broke it down, because we don't think about that. We don't think about that, and like you said, it's
my
automatically
mom talking about
assumed that,
entanglement.
huh?
My mother talking about entanglement.
Right. But we automatically assume that, that's how things are going to be. And like you said, I don't think anyone sits and has that conversation as, okay, so what is this to you, and what is that to you? And you never think about it until if it occurs. I'm not gonna say until, but if it occurs. So I looked up some stats, Of course I
Okay.
did. And
Okay.
70% of couples actually stay together after an affair is discovered.
Yep.
And then it says infidelity is responsible for 20 to 40% of divorces. So I did not. I thought I looked up some other stuff, but I'm not really surprised about the 70% of couples staying together because I was actually one of those couples who stayed after infidelity, happened in our relation in our marriage.
Me
We
too.
married, and so I think if we weren't married, I probably wouldn't have.
Stay.
Yeah, but you know what? I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that. But we were married, so being married kind of to me puts a little more grounds for work or grounds for trying to figure out what we're going to do, what's going on here, because you're married, and of course you can do that in your relationship, but you have this, you're together, your husband and wife, let's figure this out, and I think that's what it was for me. um but yeah, so I was part of that 70%. I'm no longer married now, but that's not why we're divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Mhm. Mhm.
I think everybody at some point is a part of that 70%, at some point. Uh, because I was there, Cortina, you said you was there,
Yep.
Louise, you was there. Um, all of us are divorced now. So, so clearly we're really not a part of that 70%, even though it wasn't that wasn't infidelity that led to divorce. What I will say is the old me sure was forgiving. The new me, not so much. But Cortina, until you the way that you broke down the whole, what did you call it, the
Monogamy
conversation,
agreement.
yeah, the monogamy agreement. um if we sleep together, that's a fucking agreement. I'm just saying, to me, because I think because I'm selfish, man, and that's the real selfish me. But I also know that if it goes that far, I think I'm very upfront about it too, to just be like, if it's not a relationship, then that's different. Like when before I was in a relationship and I just wanted to have fun. If I wanted to be intimate with anybody, I made this shit very clear. This ain't nothing. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna be what I want. But when I'm in a relationship, and even if and once we say we are in a relationship, monogamy, I don't want to have a conversation about monogamy because that should be known. That's my opinion. And I'm not trying to hear, oh, well, we didn't have a monogamy agreement in place.
But everybody's monogamy
No,
is different, right? Some people may feel that if we're at a club and I see you dancing with somebody else, you cheating.
no, I
I
don't think that. I don't
but
think.
some people think that, oh no, you tried me, you disrespected me, like you cheating on me. Like some people feel that way. Some people feel like, okay, texting people who you used to be involved with, that's cheating. So we don't know other people's ideas in their mind unless we have a conversation about it, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say you get with a guy and he feels that way. You will never know he feels that way unless you guys have a conversation about it. So that too is a part of a monogamy agreement. Another thing is when you're talking about um cheating and things like that, one of the things you have to remember is that trust cannot be rebuilt. Trust can never be rebuilt. What happens is a new trust agreement is created.
Hmm.
Right? We can't rebuild something that's torn up, beaten, broken, because it's going to always remind us of those bruises and that pain and that hurt. So we have to close the chapter to that part of our relationship and start anew. And by starting anew, it's not me bringing in past stuff into this new. Okay, if we really going to start anew, we have to have a new trust agreement. I am trusting you because if I don't let go of the past, the relationship is not going to work. So I always tell the injured party, you have to be honest with yourself about, can you let go of the past and move forward without throwing it in the involved party's face. Now, that does not absolve the involved party from responsibility, right? Because behaviors on their part have to change. The same behaviors will not work in this new trust agreement because the old behaviors is what caused the original trust to be broken.
Yeah.
So there has to be a shifting of the mindset, and the couples have to work together if they ultimately want to stay together. The first question I ask couples is, what's the end game? Some couples, we trying to figure it out. Some couples are, we want to stay together. Some couples are, do you want a divorce? Because that determines which road we're going to travel down in as far as moving forward.
So I also say, so here's what I feel, and you tell me your thoughts on it. Probably why I left the behavioral health field, because I can't stand, just certain things about. I have learned, when I used to have to talk to couples, and I had both of them sitting in my classes or whatever I was doing, and a lot of times people couldn't get over it, but they were staying for someone else. They were staying to protect the feelings of someone else, knowing damn well it was something that they could not get over. So my whole thing is, when people sit in front of you and they say, well, I don't know. Oh, you're just protecting how someone else feels, because you cannot get over it. And as you say, if you can't get
That's
over
true.
it, why stay? People
That's
say
true.
comfort kids and all kind of things. Fear, no money. So it's not as easy for people to just leave. I mean, then you also, there's that saying, it's cheaper to keep her. He might be trying to work it out because he's like, look, or she, because women are paying alimony and everything else now too. They can want to stay because of what they lose: house, the ability to see their kids, or anything else like that. So it's, let me just try to stay. To me, does it make it right? That's their preference, but be honest about it. That's all. Be
The
honest.
honesty is important, but sometimes there are some people who really don't know, right? Because they have so many people talking in their ear about what they should do that they don't even know what their own self wants to do, because they hear mom, dad, husband, wife, kids, like everybody is in their ear, and they haven't even had the opportunity to sit with and figure out what they truly want to do. A lot of times people do make judgments off of other people. Well, you should leave them because that's what I did. Okay, I'm gonna leave, but that's not really what you even wanted to do. You left because you felt that you would be judged, but that's not really what you wanted to do. Or you stayed because someone said that you have to stay. And so basically the model that I use is, I see the couples together, then I see one by themselves, because you may respond very differently when you're not on the spot with your partner.
That's true.
And then we bring them back together. Anything that I talk about with them individually is kept confidential, because that's their private and personal information. I don't have the right to disclose that to the other party unless they want me to. It's only one type of relationship that I probably wouldn't see, and that would be if we're in the individual and the husband or the wife or the girlfriend or the boyfriend says to me, I'm going to continue this affair and I'm going to be leaving my partner. Like, I can't, like, I can't work with that.
Why not? They're being honest.
No. I'm going to stay. Like, if we're working on rebuilding trust, how can we rebuild trust? And you saying you're going to stay, you're in our session saying, yes, I'm going to leave her alone, but I know that you are not, and you have no intentions on leaving this person alone, and you have a plan to leave your partner. We're doing this for no reason, because y'all not going to end up together. I only work with people who have the same common goal. If the goals are different, therapy is a waste of money and time. It makes no sense.
But what if they explain why they are choosing to stay? It's so easy to say that, but if a
No.
woman, no, what
I
I'm
think
saying,
you missed what I said.
no, but I'm saying, if a man and a woman, if the woman, let's say a woman cheats on a man, and she's not in a position to just up and leave, so she's just saying because she's going to comply with the man who might want to make it work. Well, let me make this work, but for her it's like, well, I can't afford to just walk away right now, so I'm going to stay even though I know I'm going to end up leaving. That doesn't, I mean, it doesn't negate the fact that she's been out there cheating, or she's still wants to still have this outside relationship. But what happens when there's something mental going on that makes her fearful to leave?
Fear is something very different than being consciously aware that I have no desire to let this relationship work. That's different. Like if I'm afraid for my life, of course, we always like, because let's say there's abuse there and I don't want to leave because I'm fearful, of course, we're going to work with that. But when it comes to downright deceit, I'm not working with deceit.
Okay.
Because we have to have a common goal. If you still want to do what you want to do, that's fine. But if you have a plan to abandon the relationship when both of you have made the agreement together that this is what we're going to work on, it's like doing the work we do is going to negate each other out.
It's unproductive.
It's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
And I can be seeing somebody else who like really want to go somewhere. Like, I don't believe in wasting time, and I'm very open and upfront about that. It doesn't make any sense. So you have to be very honest with yourself about what you want. And so when we're in those individual sessions together, I give them the opportunity to say, like, hey, what do you want? Like, do you want this or do you not want this? Because if you don't want it, that's a whole nother conversation that we have to have, right? And so we may have subsequent sessions to help them get to the point where they really are able to say, nah, maybe I don't want this. Because like I said, there's a lot of people who might be in that limbo period because I don't want to look dumb if I forgive them, so I'm going to leave. But on the other side, I don't want to look dumb if I do leave and I should have stayed, So it's like you have to be able to find your own voice in regards to what it is that you want. Can you forgive somebody? Like for me personally, way I'm at in life right now, like, nah, I don't.
Exactly.
Like, no,
exactly.
like, I'm not with that, right? If we've had this conversation, so I make it very known, like, these are the expectations of the relationship. If I do forgive you and you do it again, oh, that's the nail in the coffin, because you don't respect any part of me. Now, if we have an open relationship, that's totally different. Now, you got to understand, I call my therapy sessions, I call it relationship therapy, right? I don't call it couples therapy, because sometimes I may see two, it might be three in a relationship. I might be working with polycules. I might be working with quads. You don't know, because relationships are different. So different rules come with different relationships. And so you have to know when it comes to with your patient, like, what's the rules in this relationship? I can't make the rules for you. What are y'all rules for y'all relationship? Because what I might say might look totally different from you. And I think both partners have to know. Now, when it comes to, and I know this a little bit old, the whole Derek Jackson situation, I think that's a crock of mess. I think he is, I can't diagnose him because I have not seen him, but he does, I think he's a manipulator. I think he's a con artist. I think that he plays on the vulnerabilities and weaknesses of other women to get him to buy into his brand, or the brand that he is selling, in which he does not even ascribe to himself. And he's still cheating on his wife. So that is a problem. After he's made all of this public, I think it's absolutely ridiculous for someone who is out there like bashing all these people done left their husbands and their wives because of the things that he said, and he like right here doing the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that people can't slip up and mess up, right? But this not your first rodeo. This not your first time like having a situation come up. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he really needs to have a seat, because I believe that he's doing more damage and really confusing people as it relates to there shoulds and shouldn'ts in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
He don't need to be at the forefront. He need to have a seat.
Well, you heard it there. You know what? I saw that, and I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock in people because I look at people as imperfect. Um, it's so weird that everybody was having all of these conversations about why did she leave and how he made her look like a fool and all of these different things. To each his own.
Yeah, I don't think she looked like a
I
fool.
I just feel like it's hard for me to have an opinion on whether a woman stays or not because I've been in a position where I stayed. I'm beyond being the pot calling the kettle black. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I saw a married woman, and I think that if for her husband was in a spotlight, no one ever knew about her. And that's not a bad thing. That's entertainment. That was his job. His job was to let you see him treat every woman in a special way,
Yes,
if it
literally.
wasn't his wife. So all I'm saying is that people put too much stock in things and in people instead of seeing that people are human and imperfect. Is he full of shit? Sure. But does that change the way I feel about their whole situation? I don't really care. I just feel like, and I'll just put it out there because I always keep it 100. The same people who I've read comments, all of these comments on, are in fucked up relationships. So to me, worry about what you have going on yourself before you interject and say all of these things that's negative about this woman. And so and that's where I stand. And
Yeah,
but
I
that's
won't
why
say
I feel
anything negative about her.
yeah, but I'm just saying, but just period. People was just saying all kinds of things, and I'm just putting it out there that we are always wanting to be on the outside, making judgment and passing judgment instead of worrying about what's going on and not cleaned up in our own lives. So I think for me, I never really posted or subscribed to a lot of this stuff because one, he's a man, he's human, he's the same penis as all these other niggas out here that's cheating. So, or men, let me just back that up. But I'm just saying, so to me, I didn't really I've never seen him as this woe is man and he's so perfect. I never looked at him like that. Sure, he's like anybody else who's writing quotes. All this stuff that he's quoting, and I don't know if he was doing speaking engagements
He was.
or male stuff. See, I don't follow him.
Yeah. I'm talking about like, so you got to look at it this way. When you have therapists, like people be like, oh, I'm going to him because he's a life coach. He's doing all this, whatever the hell he's doing. Whatever you do, if you're going to do something, be smart about it. I ain't telling people to go cheat, but at the same time, you can't mess up the money. If that is your bread and butter and the way you make your money, you need to be a little bit smarter about it, right? And I do still believe in respecting your wife. So you still want to be smart about it. Don't get the person who's going to go run their mouth. Again, I'm not telling people to cheat. And I'm not raining on his parade, but what I am saying is the way that it was done and the way that it still is being done it's not cool. How it all started was I love Tasha K. I follow her. I listen to her. I heard her say this a long time ago. She never said his name. She said, yeah, I got a story on this man out here doing all this stuff. But yet it's like telling all these women to leave their men and everything, and then he's around here cheating on his wife. I always wanted to know who she was talking about. If he would have kept his mouth closed, guess what? Tasha K would have dropped story. He wanted to call her a liar, like say that she slandering his name. Well, then she came with the receipts, and then it was like, boom. If you know you doing something, you might want to fly under the radar. You
Just
might not want to make no bells and whistles. You might want to keep the lips together.
He kept on doing his videos in the car and minding his business.
And I think that for the wife, now have you read her Instagram? I will say, I think that she is following you know, her religion or whatever it is. And I think she does want to stay. However, as a clinical professional, reading some of the stuff that she is writing, I would say she might want to see a therapist. Like, it's sad. Like, I'm talking about, like, make you want to cry sad. Like, oh man,
it might be sad.
huh?
I said it might be sad, but I don't think it'll make you want to cry sad.
No, I'm talking about emotionally. She don't even mention him. I'm talking about just the stuff she talks about herself. Like, she needs a for real therapist.
That could be the reason why he married her, because he can be manipulative and he can get over it and stuff like that. And you know, if you watched it, now I didn't really watch their lives together, but you know,
I didn't watch it either. I didn't see it. I just
really
saw
don't
pictures.
care, you know. But I saw pictures as well, and looking at the pictures, it looked like he was trying to like keep her there. If you saw how instead of them holding hands, the way he was kind of like holding her arm, it's like he was like, "No, come and do this with me." It was like all for show, you know.
No, you got to see. No, you got to go to her Instagram and the videos that she posted after they did that live. Now, this is only me in my clinician mind looking at what this lady is saying. This has nothing to do with him and what she's writing. I do feel bad for her, and I think she need a friend.
I mean, I you know, it's not that I don't feel bad. I didn't read any of those comments. I didn't go and follow her or anything else. But what I will say is, when people were saying, "Hey, how could you stay? He might have treated her this, that way, or the other." Let me tell you something so well about a manipulating man who is out here cheating and cheating and cheating. He is smart enough to take care of home. So he might, all of these things and encouragement that he was doing and saying for these women, unless she comes out and says something totally otherwise, a lot of men who cheat take care of home. And they keep it under wraps for a while before it even gets out there, because even if he's doing the small things, everybody's love language is different. So while some people are in relationships looking for grand gestures all the time, not every woman cares about grand gestures. Sometimes it's the small things. And so he might have been feeding her exactly what she needed, because, you know, and I know I've read some posts about different things about that. But that might not have been his love language that she was giving back. And I'm not.
But they've been together since college, so I don't think she knew him when he was nobody. So I don't even think that was an issue.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying is that she was comfortable, and he's probably never changed. I mean, she could have been fulfilled in this relationship the whole time. Nobody knows. I know that people were saying how she came out, I guess, talking about some armor or wearing camouflage or whatnot. I don't know. But what all I'm saying is that, however he had been treating her since college, it is either she had real low self-esteem, or he pacified her love language. And we don't know what that is. Everybody is on the outside speculating about what's on the inside, and everything that he was saying that could have been, that he's saying, here's how you treat your woman. He might have been treating her in that way, but then he was also playing around on the outside.
Well, there's some things, and again, some receipts where he was not always the most fragile husband, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Like, there could have been some physical stuff going on.
Oh, no doubt.
So I ain't talking about in a good way, not physical love language that we want.
You know, and so that's the other part, is that there are so many levels to abuse. There, you know, it's not always just physical.
No, not at all.
That's what I'm saying. So in a lot of ways, it could have been started out as one thing and ended up as, in some way or shape or form, physical, if those are the receipts where things have gotten physical and whatnot. But it's clear that there is a lot of manipulation in that relationship, and that feeds off of mental and emotional abuse. And so people like to sweep that underneath the carpet. No one's ever seen her. Honestly, personally speaking, I feel like that's a level of neglect. I don't care what your brand looks like. If we are married, we are a brand. Not you. We are a brand. So I think it just depends on how things are in their relationship and what she's willing to be open with. Do I think she needs therapy? 100%. And I'm not saying that because of this situation. I'm just saying,
Oh
period.
no.
She needs a therapist because in order to for her to get through and past whatever it is, whether she decides to stay, whether she decides to leave, she needs to have an outlet for someone to really know what's going on, that she doesn't have to worry about coming out. Because see, that's the only benefit that you do have. Matter of fact, everybody who's sitting here watching, if you want your stuff to stay private and not out here in these streets, get you a therapist. There's there's client patient confidentiality,
Yep.
that allows you to freely speak your mind without someone, let me, gossiping about you, having judgment, passing judgment. It's safe space. And I'm such a supporter of safe space that, I even tell people, and I've had to, check somebody not too long ago to let them know that if I say something to you about someone, I've said it to them. I would never be the type of person to be like, let me tell you about such and such.
And
No,
I'm not gonna.
you don't even have to worry about it because I can speak up for myself. Oh, did you say it? Yes, I have receipts where I've said the same thing to you. Things that are confidential, I can keep confidential. But don't come for me unless I call you Brit the Mess, because I'm so open to share exactly how I feel, especially in my relationship. So,
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
any relationship that I have, with my significant other, with my friends, with my family, I don't have to hide behind internet and text messages and all of that other stuff. And I've let people know that I'm very vocal, but I had to learn how to speak up for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage people, speak up for yourself, because that's the only way that you allow people to understand your boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
But I always say, if it's something that you want taken to the grave, but you got to get out because you're conflicted about it, get you a therapist. Pay that
Yeah.
money. That money going to the grave.
Even if you've murdered somebody, guess what? We can't tell anybody, right? Like, it's in the past. Any crime you committed in the past, we cannot say anything. So you have that privilege. Yeah,
I think it's only if you're going to cause harm to someone else
that's it. To yourself or
or
someone
someone
else,
else.
or there's harm being done to a protected class. Outside of that, nope. That's why I don't like to work with children. It's too much. I ain't got time for that. Because that's a whole nother ball of wax. No, thank you. I will stick with the adults. They're a little bit easier to deal with. Not issue wise,
But
but as
with
far
children,
as legalities, it's
I
easier.
know. But children, you mean like kids, or you saying any kids? You only want 18 and up.
Oh no, 15 and up.
Okay, so 15 and up.
Yeah,
Okay.
because little ones like no, I can't. I'm I
That's
don't
a
even
lot
really
of
like
work.
kids. I don't even like
A lot of
kids like that. So um yeah, I can't. I like
Well, let
mine,
me let me let me
but no.
let
Oh, and
me
one more thing, just to wrap up on the whole Derek Jackson situation. Outside of that whole marriage situation, I feel like she needs to heal from the loss of her father.
I know. I don't keep up. I guess I have so much going on. I have no idea what's really going on in media. If it doesn't come on the news or Good Morning America or NBC, because that's all that sits here. My iPad is literally sitting right in front of me. I get up and work, and I have the news on. I don't
See, I
keep.
can't ingest the news because I listen to heavy stuff all day. I need gossip and stuff like that's gonna make me like lighter, because I can't sit in my office and listen to all these people with all these tragedies and then turn on the news and see what the hell we got going on in the world. I gotta pick a poison, and I gotta pick the poison that pays me. So I'm gonna stick with the people who let me listen to their stuff in between sessions. Okay, YouTube, let me listen to what the foolery they got going on today. That's why I love Housewives and all the extra foolishness, because it's mindless. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to do anything but just listen and be entertained.
Now I think I know how you feel about that. I think for me, I listen, and I don't say news because I mean Good Morning America, if you call that news. I watch that or whatever it is. Oh no, um, whatever it is that's on NBC in the mornings that come on before Kelly and Ryan, and then I'll watch Kelly and Ryan, and after that, just nothing else is on. But I do know what you mean about needing that outlet because I write about people all day, or I'm interviewing, or I'm on press junkets. So the last thing that I want to do is deal with seeing more stuff. But I mean, but I don't keep up on social media like that because I'm so exhausted during the day because I sit in front of a screen. I don't My outlet is not going from one screen to another screen. So
Mm-hmm.
I admit, I think that is my downfall when it comes to social media, is the fact that I look at a screen all day long. I mean, consistently as a writer, so that I'm not getting off to be like, let me go here and scroll and see, and I want to just come away from everything, literally. So I don't keep up with what everything that's really, really going on in people's business unless it makes it in my news feed, because I do have a news feed that pops in like from Yahoo News.
Okay, yeah.
So I do look at that. So I mean, I am one of those that keep up, and I think I look at the news because I still want to know what's going on with COVID and all of these other things. I make sure the weather and whatnot, but I don't keep up with a bunch of this stuff that where people, and I think what bothers me most is I don't subscribe to it because I can't stand false judgment. And I say false judgment because people cast judgment when they're messy themselves. So it's hard for me to go and look at all of these feed comments and whatever, unless it's something funny. Now, I will go and read through the comments of certain things that are hilarious just for the comments. But when it is something serious like this, I can't subscribe to it because that's a different level of energy that I'm willing to give. And I protect my energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think it's just easy because he wants to be
Wait,
this
set the
super,
mood something over there?
huh?
Did you set the mood? Why it got all dark and stuff over there?
I
Like,
know,
what?
right?
I'm trying to figure out what is going on after we get off this podcast.
No, the sun is going down. So I'm in my
Oh,
office and I just had the sunlight earlier, but now the sun is setting. So it's creating this nice ambiance. I just need me some candles in the back and then
you all the way sexy.
no, I'll be looking like, what's the man name? Kevin Samuels in his office. Let me just put me some candles somewhere and I'll be Keviana
My office.
Samuels.
I have not only do I have a candle that burns in my office, I have a record player, and I've been playing Billie Holiday lately.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've been playing
Yeah,
Billie
yeah.
Holiday record. So yeah, I have a whole mood. I do have a window, but my window was shut right before this. But even though it's still super bright and my whole forehead got this whole reflection, but this good jeans because there's no wrinkles. ah,
Right.
so, so let's go around. What are your last thoughts on creeping in a relationship, based on this whole conversation, especially surrounding let me ask you this really quick. So when we talk about Derek Jackson and everybody's canceling him, what about Steve Harvey? This whole man wrote a book and solicited advice, but he cheated on his wife too.
What wife he cheated on?
Which wife? Because it wasn't Marjorie, was it?
No, it wasn't Marjorie. It was
Okay, so he wrote the book. You got to realize, so he had done that prior. I believe that people can change and be reformed and everything like that. So if it's something I did in my past, I don't believe in holding people's past against them, right? So I mean, he
no,
did it.
no one ever canceled him during that transition for him.
But I think wasn't he divorced when he wrote that book? He wasn't still with his first wife, who the kids don't see.
I have no idea, and I didn't know the kids don't see the wife either.
Oh yeah, they don't talk to her. They don't got no relationship with her. So he was already not with. I'm serious. Like y'all didn't see like when she was going crazy and stuff like that. Okay, well,
No.
so he was not. I don't believe he was still like married with her and everything like that when he wrote the book. However, whenever he cheated, it was before the book. I don't agree or disagree with the book. I mean, everybody has all of these books or whatever they want to do. That's fine. My thing is, I think it was a different level, if that makes sense. It's almost like, because his book wasn't necessarily on like cheating and breaking up. Like that wasn't the topic of his book. His topic was date like a man. This is how you date like a man. This is what men are thinking. So it's not like Derek Jackson where he like, leave him, divorce him, you deserve it. Like he was doing exactly everything that he was preaching against. And he could be doing sublimation, right? That's the ego defense mechanism where we do what we want to do. Well, because it's not socially acceptable for us to do what we want to do, we do absolutely the opposite. So him writing about, oh, you have to treat your woman like this, you got to do this, that was him substituting his non-social acceptable urges into something more socially acceptable. So that's what I think what comes from him. With Steve Harvey, his behavior had nothing to do with what he was writing about. Mm-hmm. Right. And so that's where I think probably, and then back then it wasn't a big cancel culture. We talking about years ago. We talking about where we are right now. You can sneeze wrong and they be ready to cancel you. Like you can have the wrong hairstyle. Like
I read about that.
Oh, did you read her latest one?
No, she hadn't posted it yet. Has she?
Yeah.
Okay, well let me go and look at it.
Girl.
Now you got me
curious. Look at what?
Oh my God. She got a little cuss word in there. I was like, she said, Mom, can I say this word? I said, I don't know.
Okay, I need to go and check that out because it doesn't release until the 15th. So
yeah, I said, I don't know.
You need to have her text me when she puts them in because then I can go through and edit them because I look for them not this early. But
okay.
I've not been on that platform. By the way, I'm sorry, you all. We just kind of cut in between.
We sure did. Okay. So cancel culture. I don't think the cancel culture was as popping as it is, today. And I think that before you do cast a stone, you need to make sure you don't live in a glass house. So you do need to look at your situation, but we shouldn't judge. But I do feel there's a difference. People get caught up in judgment and accountability. If I'm holding you accountable for a certain behavior, that don't mean I'm hating. That doesn't mean I'm judging you. That's me calling what I see. I'm calling it out. So you can have an opinion. And if you live your life public, you got to expect for people to have an opinion on your life. So you can't be a celebrity and be like, well, people should mind their business. Well, you are our business because if it wasn't for us, guess what? You would not be famous. So that's just where I stand on that. You are famous. You want to be trending, whether it's good or bad. Guess what? He got an additional 2 million followers or 200,000 followers after all this craziness. So guess what? All bad, good, all publicity is good publicity because guess what? He got his numbers up. He had that book come out. The scandal dropped right at the right time. He like, boom, here go my book. He probably a bestseller right now. I don't even know, but if it was what's the word they use in show business, a publicity stunt, maybe it was. I don't know, because it just so happened the same day all this popped off, that's when his book was dropping. I don't know, maybe he with the Illuminati. I don't know, child.
So
I cannot. Oh my God. I can't.
But yeah, that's just me. Everybody, live your life. Do what makes you happy at the end of the day. You want to stay with somebody who cheating, that's fine. If you want to cheat, that's fine. Just have the conversation. You might be surprised. You might be with somebody who's okay with an open relationship because between 8% and 20% of relationships that go through affairs and cheating, they decide to end up having consensual non-monogamous relationships. So you might be in that 8 to 20%. So just try it.
I'm good. I'm selfish.
Me too.
I don't think my my attitude can handle that.
Yeah, I'm not about that life because I'd be like,
and then I think I already know that my attitude can't handle that, and to me, it's got to be real disrespectful. I mean, anything that I feel like is disrespectful to me. Um, so I mean, if you're texting with an ex, as long as it's not disrespectful, I don't care if you're friends.
Mm-hmm.
There were people in your life before me. I don't believe that you have to dissolve your friendships and all of those things. I have male friends. I feel like the person I'm with should be able to have female friends because we're all grown. This is not no kitty stuff. I don't have
Right.
room in my life to invite drama and all that other stuff. But if I sense it out, I will know. My gut tells me everything that I need to know. If it doesn't feel right to me, it don't feel right. And I don't have to. I always say you can never lie to a child of God, because what is meant for me to see, all I have to do is pray on, and I'm gonna see exactly what it is, and I don't have to look for it because I'm not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
So just saying. So Coratina Peters, where
Mm-hmm.
can people follow you, connect with you, know what you're doing, even though you're in school and you just don't even reach out anymore? But where can people follow you?
You can follow me at the girlfriend therapist on all social media platforms. And for anybody who is in a relationship, I want to leave you with this. Make a wise decision and not an emotional choice. Make a wise decision, not an emotional choice. Cheating does not have to end a relationship, right? But change behavior has to come with that. So that's just a little motivation for anybody who's going through something. Wise decision that's best for you, not an emotional choice. All right, that's it.
All right, Miss Louisa, Radiohead.
I
Remind
am
you of
an
your name.
I am in agreement with Cortina, and you can find me at the Blue Phoenix on Facebook and the Blue Phoenix Hills on Instagram. And also, I think the biggest thing too, as far as that, is honesty. Just be honest with yourself and with your partner, and allow that decision to come out. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I
All
definitely.
right.
All right. So, you can reach me on every platform, pretty much: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at IAMDRPGURLEY. I am Dr. P. Gurley. For the Herspiration brand, you can reach us on Facebook and Instagram at Herspiration Happy Hour, and on Twitter at Herspiration HH.
HH.
We are live the first and third Wednesdays of every month from 7 to 8 p.m. We love having you join us, be a part of the conversation. You can drop comments. I might even, start having some little debate stuff going on. You never know.
Oh,
We're
that'd be
always
cool.
changing it up and switching it up. If you are looking to advertise on Herspiration Happy Hour, or would like to sponsor an episode and have your video ran, contact Herspiration Happy Hour at gmail.com, and we could definitely work something out for you. We have a ton of guests that are coming up. Surprisingly, this episode there was a conflict with our guest, so he or she was not able to make it. I don't know which one it was. But here again, have some patience with us, because we do only record the first and third Wednesdays of every month, which, if you know our schedules, that's a lot of time that we pour into having fun with you all over cocktails and conversations. And I think I saw an email, Louisa, that we're booked out through June right now.
We're going into July, so we have July.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so yeah, we have July booked.
July is open.
Yes. Yeah, and so I would also say I appreciate everybody who is contacting us to be a part of this platform, to come out and have fun. As soon as we have some free time, we're going to also start having some guest co-hosts. So you never know which way we're going to go. So come out here and have some fun. Stay tuned if you missed this episode, and you can always go back and watch it on our YouTube channel, which will be on there by tomorrow. And you can also tune in on our podcast, which is on every major platform. So we definitely appreciate everything you all are doing to support us. And until the next time,
Cheers.
Cheers.